Ever stop to think how much those little impulse buys on your phone are adding up to, and how many subscription payments are sneaking out of your bank account every single month? Before I started using Rocket Money, let me tell you, I had no idea. But the first time I logged in, I saved $435. I couldn't believe it. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. I just love the dashboard. It shows everything in one place, even the subscriptions you forgot you signed up for. And if there's something you don't need, Rocket Money helps you cancel it. Plus, it alerts you if a bill increases or if something unusual pops up in your account. It's basically like having a personal assistant for your money. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Kim today. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. Hey, thanks for listening to the Kim Komando Show. Here comes hour one. It's back. That's right. This is really wild to me. Timex is sold out of their latest watch, Andrew. Remember Timex?
Is it a smartwatch?
No, it's from 1975. They have brought back the SSQ digital watch. It was the brand's first digital LCD watch. It's using recycled stainless steel as the case, a brushed bracelet, navy acrylic lens that was just ripped out of the 1970s.
I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here, but digital watches get sold all the time. You can find probably 100 million. My dad wore a digital watch, just a plain old Jane digital watch for years.
Okay, but today we have all these smartwatches.
Right.
And so they're saying that maybe people are tired of all the distractions and tracking their breaths and all the notifications.
How much is this Timex throwback watch?
$159.
For a digital watch?
$159.
They're just suckers.
Do you know, my uncle has two Dobermans by the name of Rolex and Timex.
Oh, dude, that's how it ties in.
Yes.
Okay.
It's their watchdogs. Oh, gosh. Sometimes I am so funny.
And then there's other times like that.
And of course, I'm Kim Komando, America's beloved digital goddess, here to make sure that you are never left tech behind, that you're always tech ahead, especially in today's world. You always need to know about all things digital. Of course, joining me is awesome Andrew Babinski, my co-host, and also the co-host of the morning show here in Phoenix, Arizona on 99.9 FM.
Hi, Kim.
So here's the deal. A huge salute and goes out to all of our heroes on the American Forces Network Radio that are also tuning in. And just a reminder that you can catch us in over 425 top stations across the United States. And of course, we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And we're streaming as a podcast. Just search for my last name, Komando. And if you do get the Kim Komando Show as a podcast, we have a favor. Just a little tiny favor. We need you to leave a great 5-star review and a few kind words so that this way, you know what happens, Andrew, is we trick the algorithms.
I love tricking the algorithm.
It's amazing. So just say, I love Kim's jokes. That's the best important thing that you can say.
Oh, so people can lie. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
People love my jokes. You know, every single day I dive into at least 35, 40 different sources to make sure I know exactly what's happening in the tech space. And here are a few things that you need to know about. We're going to start with the question. Do you think we have enough porn on the internet? Do you?
I would guess. What percentage of the internet do you think is porn?
I'm not sure.
Oh, we got to be at 4 to 5%.
I was going to say 6%. Look that up.
Okay, I'll find that.
Because with over 800 million active users a day, ChatGPT says it is the most successful AI system on the planet. Now, its creator, Sam Altman, says it's going to help doctors really cure cancer. But this week's announcement didn't really see this one on the Nobel Prize shortlist. Starting in December, ChatGPT will officially allow erotica. That's right. Chat will talk dirty to you. AI that flirts, writes steamy stories, and even role plays on command. So how will people work with Chat to create said erotica? They're going to type in their wildest ideas, and AI will spin it into a scene, a story, whole experience, all personalized, all on demand. Now, Altman said it's about freedom. It's about creative expression. I think it's also about clicks and traffic and cash.
Of course.
And I'll tell you, people are getting a rise out of this all over social media.
Hopefully that's the point, right?
So what's the percentage?
We got the numbers. 10% of all web pages are dedicated to adult content.
Okay.
But 30% of the internet activity, which is files going back and forth, is related to porn.
30%.
So that'd be video streaming, video downloads, transfers, stuff like that.
God, what world was I living in? I thought it was 6%. You were even worse. You thought 3 to 4. Meanwhile, a third of all the traffic's going around.
Just answer the question why ChatGPT is getting into it.
That would be it. Hey, guess how many satellites are up in the sky right now? Any idea?
I'll probably go 6 or 7.
12,000.
Oh, it's almost there.
Yes. Here's a kick in the pants. Researchers at UC San Diego and University of Maryland studied all these satellites in geostationary orbit, and they found that 50% of the signals they analyzed were unencrypted. What that means is that anybody can listen to them. They took an $800 receiver, they put it on a rooftop in La Jolla, California. Nothing fancy. They just pointed it at the various satellites and said, oh, listen to this.
Wasn't T-Mobile one of the clients?
Yes, that's right. Calls and texts from T-Mobile, browsing data from folks on planes, messages from oil rigs and power grids, bits of the U.S. and Mexican military police traffic, all on the satellite. Just taking a listen.
And all you have to do is spend $800. You think China has $800 they can spend?
No. At least during the Cold War, the Pentagon had a password. I mean, it was 00000.
But it was a password.
They had something there. All right, moving on. There's a company called Reliable Robotics. And imagine boarding a plane, looking at the cockpit, and there's no one there. There's no captain, there's no co-pilot, just empty seats and a glowing dashboard. Okay. So this Reliable Robotics, they just took a Cessna 208B Caravan. You know what kind of plane that is? It's a plane.
Yeah, it's a plane. Okay. I agree.
But it's 41 feet long, 52-foot wingspan. You can fit like 9 people in it.
Okay.
If you're flying from, say, Honolulu to Kauai on a smaller plane, you might take a Caravan.
Would it be considered a private jet?
Yeah, I guess you could use that. FedEx uses them to haul things, we say, between Phoenix and Flagstaff.
Okay.
So cargo. Get like 3,600 pounds on this thing. But the entire flight from taxi, takeoff, cruise, all the way to landing, not one human touched the controls. The pilot was actually 50 miles away watching everything from a control center on the ground. Now, this is pretty big because the FAA just gave Reliable Robotics the green light to keep autopilot running through the riskiest parts of a flight, which is takeoff and landing. So, would you get in an airplane with no human?
Well, first of all, we can't act like this is new. We've had wars with drones and no pilots all the time.
And there is autopilot on the planes, but the autopilot is generally not used on takeoff and landing.
And I, unlike you, am a huge fan of the Waymo self-driving cars. I think they're amazing. They're the future, and I feel safe in them. I think they're probably better drivers than, 70% of Uber drivers. Absolutely, I would get on a plane.
It wouldn't matter to you?
No.
But what if there was like a freak storm? I mean, what if something goes sideways in one of the engines?
Well, you just said there's a pilot monitoring everything.
On the ground.
Yeah.
Which is kind of different than
But he would
somebody.
do the same things. He's going to hit the same switches that he would do if he were in the plane. The only difference is the pilot's going to survive if there's a crash.
Okay, but would that landing on the Hudson be possible with nobody in the cockpit?
Would it have been avoided altogether if AI was flying that flight and not a human?
It was the birds that got in the plane.
May have been able to dodge the ducks, may have detected the ducks from miles away and said, we can't take off yet because there are ducks.
I don't know. I think there needs to be more testing before I get on board of that.
Well, give it, 6 months and it's going to be normal.
So I talked about this in my newsletter called The Current. Daniel Rotar, he was testing Samsung's new Galaxy Ring on a flight from the UK to Hawaii. I think you're familiar with this. The ring started to feel snug on him.
Yep.
Got tighter and tighter and tighter. By the time he landed for his connecting flight in Honolulu, his finger was basically turning purple. And in case you're wondering, and you're thinking to yourself, well, this happens to everybody who's on a plane, okay? Especially on a long flight. You start retaining water unless and if you start drinking alcohol, you eat the airplane food with a lot of sodium, which is all bad ideas, that your fingers can swell up, your ankles can swell up. But this is a young guy. He's fit. He's not overweight. So what happened was the battery inside the ring had swollen up and the ring locked onto his finger. He flagged down TSA. The agent said, you have to go to the emergency room in Honolulu, where they iced his finger and then used a whole bunch of lubricant to get the ring off of his finger. Okay. So a lot of people have been asking me, like, how can this really happen? Well, the smart rings have these lithium-ion batteries. Same thing in your phone. But in a ring, it's in this tight metal band. And when the battery degrades or malfunctions, it does swell up. Now, if this happens in your phone, it kind of pushes out of the back case a little bit. And they leave a little extra room in their expansion just in case that were to happen. So people who also have an Oura ring have reported similar problems. And then once the battery starts to fail, you can't replace it. The whole ring is toast. So a lot of people also have been asking, like, what does the ring track? I think you asked me that, didn't you? I mean, it's basically a wearable that tracks everything. And a lot of people are wearing one. I mean, if you look at Prince Harry, any picture of him, he's got the Oura ring on. My friend Hannah, she wears the Oura ring and the Apple Watch. We also talked to her at one point. And she says that the Apple Watch is better and that it's more accurate than the Oura ring. You don't wear any wearables or any trackables, do you?
I have an Apple Watch. I wear it sporadically.
When do you wear it?
Usually, like if we're going for a walk or going to go to the gym, I'll just track time and steps and all that jazz.
See, I was at Pilates the other day, and I was wearing my Apple Watch, and you can do Pilates as an option.
Right.
And I thought it was interesting. The Pilates instructor, she looked at me, and she's like, it doesn't happen unless you note it on your watch.
That's true. Pixar, it didn't happen.
That's exactly. All right, coming up, we have just so many great things that I have to share. First of all, I got a note from a listener and a reader of our newsletter who, because he read the newsletter this past week, made $6,000.
$6,000?
Yep, just because he read the newsletter.
I read the newsletter. I got nothing.
Okay, well, maybe you didn't read this important paragraph that I passed along.
Probably not.
Also, webcam's worst nightmares are coming true. We have just the best callers ever. And of course, you have me and Andrew. If you own a home, listen up. This is scary. The FBI is warning about a crime on the rise. Home title theft. And it doesn't happen the way you might think. No break-ins, no stolen keys, just a forged signature on a single piece of paper filed with the county. In minutes, criminals can transfer the title out of your name, then use your ownership to drain your equity or even sell your home. The worst part, most people don't know what's happening until they get collection or foreclosure notices in the mail. That's why I trust Home Title Lock. When you visit HometitleLock.com/Kim, you'll get a free title history report and a 14-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, including 24/7 monitoring of your home's title, urgent alerts to changes, and if fraud does happen. Their U.S.-based restoration team will work to restore your title, covering costs up to $1 million. Don't wait. Protect your home and equity today. Get your free 14-day trial at HometitleLock.com/Kim. That's HometitleLock.com/Kim. Apple's new iPhone Air is here, and it's crazy thin. We're talking 0.22 inches, thinner than a pencil, about the same as a few stacked credit cards. It's got this gorgeous OLED display, Apple's fastest chip, and all-day battery life. You might be saying, like, what's going on? Well, you could win one. Ooh. That's right. A $999 value. Maybe I should just throw $1 on it, the phone, and this way I can say $1,000 value.
Well,
what do you think?
You're going to tape $1 to the box?
Yes.
To equal $1,000.
Exactly.
That's actually hilarious.
Winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. Enter right now while you're thinking about it. All right, what do you think we take some great phone calls?
Let's
Ready?
do it.
Staci in beautiful Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hi there, Staci.
Hi, hello. How are you today, Kim?
Great. Welcome to the show. I understand that you did some great things with ChatGPT.
I sure did. I gave the credit card companies a run for their money.
Tell us what happened.
Yeah, so last February, I was served with papers for a credit card that about 3 years ago I fell into some hard times and let that one go unpaid, and the company sold the debt to one of those credit card debt buyer companies, and they decided to sue me. And I turned to ChatGPT to fight that lawsuit, and I ended up saving myself about $2,000 total off of the settlement that I eventually came to for that lawsuit.
So you use ChatGPT as, I'm guessing, your lawyer?
As my paralegal is what I was calling it. I was the lawyer. I was a pro se defendant. So I took the role of lawyer and gave ChatGPT the role of my paralegal. And so I was there doing a lot of the work. I put in about a little over 100 hours on this case. But I used ChatGPT as my, oh my gosh, what the heck does this mean? Paralegal buddy in the process of all of it. And I used ChatGPT to walk me through the process of being a pro se litigant or defender.
So you admitted on this call that you opened the credit card, you didn't pay it, you let it to go to collections. So what were you fighting?
So allegedly, I opened a credit card.
Allegedly. See what? So what? Let me tell you, Staci, you learned a lot.
Yes, your objection is overruled, and I actually even had to go to. I did the arbitration, so I did live, like working my case, and at the award, the company actually ended up with less than what they were suing for. So I did something right in the lawsuit. But what was I defending against? I was defending against the accusation that this company, that I owed this particular company money because they were not the person that held the original debt. And so all I was asking for was for them to just show me proof that they are the ones who currently own the debt. And that's really pretty much what you can do with a settlement like this. Like what the credit card companies are trying to do, or these debt buying companies, they just want to sue you and hope that you freak out about it so that they can get a default judgment. And so I just didn't want that to happen. I was just trying to say, hey, give me a second. Let's at least make this like fair in court.
So did ChatGPT ever like hallucinate or give you advice where you sat there and you're like, okay, this is not true?
Oh my gosh, of course it did. That's, that's what it's known for. Yeah, it's known for hallucinating. And I knew that. So anytime it made any reference to a previous case or any sort of citation of case law, I absolutely went and double checked it. The hard part was that now that Google, the first thing that comes up on Google is also AI results, I was really concerned that all the AIs were hallucinating the same thing. So I had to like deep search in Google, which like 6 months ago wouldn't have been a deep search. It just would have been a regular Google search. And now I feel like you have to go beyond AI to kind of find the real human knowledge behind it. But yeah, it absolutely hallucinated.
Yeah, but it's interesting that you were able to do this. You know, you have no legal background, I take it.
No, I have a history and political science degree. That's the closest thing to a legal background that I have. And I've watched a lot of Law and Order.
Okay, well,
that's enough.
You know what? Obviously, the Law and Order had a big play right here in winning the lawsuit. But, you know, Staci, thanks for your time. Thanks for calling in. You know, it is interesting. I mean, I do run every contract that we are about to sign through ChatGPT.
Aren't you worried that all the information you're loading into ChatGPT is your business information?
Well, it says on the bottom that because I pay and it's a workspace account that they don't share my data.
Oh, never mind then. You're perfectly fine. Carry on.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
So a group of authors led by We Were Never Here's Andrea Bartz, they sued Anthropic for using pirated copies of their books, right? To train Claude. And how does Claude sound again?
If you didn't watch the podcast, for some reason this week, Kim decided that Claude, the AI chatbot, had a voice that sounded like this. Hello, I'm Claude. Thank you, Kim Commando.
That was Claude. So Claude, I got to erase everything.
Yeah, they forced Claude to unlearn all the information it got from the pirated technology.
And it's a $1.5 billion landmark settlement. So if you have ever published a book, you can go to a website, and we have the link at commando.com, and you can type in the name of your last name or the title of your book, and you can see if Claude actually trained on your particular works.
Now, it has to be that it trained on your works that were pirated.
Correct.
If you gave the book away for free, then you were giving it to Claude, and it can use it for fair use.
Exactly. Well, you got $3,000 per title. Eric sent me a note, a reader from the current newsletter, and said he put his name in. 2 books of his are on the list. He made $6,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, not bad for getting a free newsletter.
I know. Well, it's a profitable newsletter.
Exactly. So if you ever wrote a book, head over to commando.com. We have the link there so you can type in the name of your book or your last name and see if maybe you've got some money there too. And I'm not even going to take a cut.
No?
I'd like to.
You're so kind.
So nice. Renee in San Antonio, Texas. Hi there. Welcome.
Hi. How are you doing today?
Fabulous. So tell us what's going on.
Okay, mine's just a question right now. There's a program that I found through a mutual person. It was called Data Quotes on the Apple app, and it's I guess it's like doing oil and gold trading. I was on it for a while, and the gold trading was called MFMVC. Was on it with a program with somebody, and continuing on this. We were making money off of this. I started off with, a little bit of money.
How much did you put into it first?
Personally, myself, the very first time I put like about $1,050.
Okay.
And then later on, I invested $50,000.
$50,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, down the line, the person that was kind of helping me out, they invested some of their money through, like Bitcoin, and they put the money into my account, like about $500,000.
Dollars?
Oh, yes, but I guess through Bitcoin or the Ethereum.
Ethereum, yes.
Ethereum. They transferred that money into that account of mine. And while we were on this program, on this thing, it showed it was making money. They were telling me, all right, we're going to start today at this time to do gold or oil, whichever it was. And I can see the market like it's, making money. Or, like it was losing money, but it was always a profitable thing. Mind you, this is maybe 6 months into this already. And it shows, that I, it shows on paper there, it says made of over $4,660,000 in there.
Okay, so you put in $50,000 and then it grew to over $4 million.
With their portion of that $500,000 they put in there.
Okay.
Okay. In reference to that, there was a program that was called like a refund program that they were doing for 30 days. And on that refund program, they were putting $3,999 every day for 30 days. And it said, by the time this program, as long as you deposit that $500,000, mind you, I never put that $500,000 out of my own personal pocket.
Okay.
Okay. Well, anyways, that's how it kind of made all this money because there was seed money into this, into the account. Mind you, the program ended. I was trying to pull some money out. And then that's when I get a letter the next day saying, hey, you need to pay what's it called, like a custody fee, more like a escrow fee.
Sure,
to
transfer
be able to pull
fee.
this money out, but you can only pull it out via Coinbase or anything, like through a Bitcoin type of stuff. With your own personal account.
Okay.
And they were looking for, a total of $239,025.60. And they gave you a time limit of, as a matter of fact, today's the last day. And after that, if you don't pay for that, to pull your money out, it charges 1% per day. And mind you, on that information, it said you can pull it out. Once you pay that, you have, they will send you your full amount of money if you wanted it all within 24 hours.
So you have to pay $240,000 to get your money out.
Correct. They couldn't use it off of the proceeds.
Oh, okay. So you've got to come up with that. Now, at any time during this whole thing that you're talking to this person, are you using an app called WhatsApp?
No, it was through the other one. It was it wasn't WhatsApp. It's another one.
Signal? Telegram?
Yeah, Telegram.
Okay, so you're using Telegram. Okay.
Yeah.
And how'd you come across this person?
Just I was on Telegram one day and it just popped up and just conversation, and most of the time you get other people talking about crazy stuff doing this, and it was just a conversation. We started talking, and then it was brought up, about have I ever done oil or gold trading or anything like that. I said no. I mean, I've always been interested, and they kind of gave me a little bit of a heads up how to do it and all that, and and I started off with $1,000, and my very first transaction I made 47. Now, mind you, the very first time after I made a little bit of money, I pulled out $200 just to see if it was legit, and they let me pull out $200.
Yeah, well, it's your money.
And
did I hear you correctly?
Down,
did you say this was an Apple app from the App Store?
Yes, and it was under data quotes.
Yeah, I don't. Can you look that app up?
Yeah, I'll look it up because I've never heard. I mean, obviously this is a scam.
It is a scam. I'm sorry, Renee.
Usually they're using websites that are faux websites that they are manipulating everything in the background. But this is the first time I've heard that they're using an app in the Apple App Store.
So they told you to download an app.
Yeah, I downloaded that app, and then and mind you, when I told you I pulled out 200. Maybe the week before that refund program that I stated started, I pulled out $8,000, and it allowed and I pulled out $8,000 and went straight to my bank.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's still your money. I mean, because you put in 50.
Yeah.
You're able to pull out, what'd you say, a couple of $100 and $8,000, and this is just a classic pig butchering scam, and instead of using. Normally they use cryptocurrencies. Now they're kind of migrating to oil and gold because gold is so hot right now. I mean, if the price of gold's up to, it just keeps going up and up. What I'd like you to do is you can go to reportfraud.ftc.gov, the Internet Crime Complaint Center, and what you want to do is you're going to follow all the steps, but you're going to report this as a scam, that you got scammed. You got scammed out of $50,000. And if you give them the $250, you're never going to see anything from them again. Okay. So I'm glad that you realize that, because sometimes, Renee, we talk to people here on the show and they want to fight with us to say, no, this is legit. This is legit.
Correct.
So you kind of see where that you lost $50,000, which is, that's a lot of money. It is, It is. I mean, I don't know what your taxes look like, but you probably had to make $100,000 to give away $50,000.
Yeah.
But do not send the escrow fee. Do not.
Oh, of course not.
Do not do any of that. But I'm glad that you called in, because let me tell you, I bet you there's somebody listening right now, Renee, who says, this sounds oddly familiar, and I think I am kind of falling for the same thing too. And you don't want to give anybody, a stranger that you meet on WhatsApp, Signal, or Telegram, the time of day. And now the reason why we're talking about WhatsApp, Signal, and Telegram is that your conversations there are encrypted. It's really great for the bad guys. It's really bad for you. And because it doesn't have the guardrails, the fraud patrol, or anything like that. Did you see anything? Did you find anything out?
I can't find that app in the App Store.
Well, then maybe it got pulled down already.
Possibly.
And because, Apple normally has pretty good controls, but every once in a while a rogue app will go through, or maybe they'll take over an app that looks like a legit app. One letter's off, they get it in the App Store, and then it's yanked down. So, gosh, Renee, thanks again for your call. Wow.
Oh, here it is. Data quotes, Smart Stock Tracker. It's only got 3 stars.
Well, they're using it for nefarious means.
It should have no stars.
Which, we should report that. Renee, you should report that in the Apple Store. I see, I just put you on hold. Report that in the App Store as a fraudulent app, because we should get that taken
That's
down.
bold of them to go through the App Store, because they're more trackable there. I mean, the fact that they're using an app and not just some web page is unique.
This is a new one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do some research on this one myself. Let's switch gears a little bit. We have Christine in Dallas, Texas next. Hi, Christine.
Hi, Kim. I'm a big fan of yours. You make me so smart.
Yes, thank you.
So I'm retired, and I'm interested in learning something about AI. And I did a search on the internet, AI for seniors. And in my Facebook, I was just flooded with all these programs I could buy for AI for seniors. And it's like, oh, really? These aren't legitimate. They're just like made up stuff. So,
Well, you know
I
what?
didn't
You know,
know
the thing that you made the mistake with is for seniors.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big mistake because,
was it?
yeah,
Okay.
because older adults, seniors are targeted all the time. You know, because
Yeah, true.
because they're the most trusting, the most gullible. And I guess, you know, we always hear these studies about how millennials are getting taken or Gen Zers, but, you know, but when you think about it, the millennials and the Gen Zers don't have usually the disposable income that somebody who older has. And so,
Yeah.
you know, you got to go where the money is. So you ended up with all these scams. So what do you want to learn? Why do you want to learn AI? What do you want to learn about it? What do you hope to do with it?
Well, I'll tell you, this is kind of weird, but I have this idea, and I call it my personal therapist. And I've even given it a name. Her name is Jane. And whatever I want to do, like say I want to lose weight, I will program my own personal messages, like almost like my higher self, you know, the things that motivate me, not just a canned message, something that I know will motivate me. So if I want to eat this cookie, I can eat it and say I shouldn't be eating this, or I can talk to my personal pocket therapist and say, I'm about to eat this cookie. And then Jane could say, well, Christine, let's talk about this.
It's only going to give you 10 seconds of pleasure, but you're going to have to get on the treadmill for an hour and 15 minutes. Okay.
That's right. But she can also remind me of my weight problem, or she could remind me of my sugar problem. And she can tell me, like, the consequences if I eat this cookie. And she can tell me what I need to hear to throw that cookie in the trash.
Well, there are apps that can do that, but you want to program one yourself, which is, you could do that.
Yeah, I want it to be very personal.
Then what you're going to do is go to ChatGPT and you're going to create a knowledge base. And I'm going to write all this up and put it in a newsletter because it's not as easy. It's not as easy as it sounds. You would think,
I'm sure,
that you could go to chat and you'd hit this setting and then it would go to knowledge. And then, because I tried to do this myself.
Okay.
I did. Not for cookies and not for exercise. Although, I'm going to tell you, last night, Newman O's are my favorite. As a matter of fact, I said Newman O's are my favorite cookies, and I have to tell you, Christine, do not send me Newman O's. I had somebody deliver me a case of Newman O's, and I love that for me. But I like to maintain being a size 4, and I can't do that if I eat a lot of Newman O's.
These are knockoff Oreos.
Yes, they're knockoff Oreos.
All right.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh no.
But they sell them in the health food store, so they're healthy.
That you can eat them. Yeah.
Do you enjoy a regular Oreo?
No.
It's the same thing.
It has the regular Oreo has like bad stuff in it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but let's talk to Christine.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Is that so? Because I was trying to do this with the newsletter, that when I come up with a trivia question, that it would write like the cute stuff in the beginning and then the stuff at the end. And boy, I just had the darndest time. After 3 hours, I was just like, forget this. Okay, just write it myself. But I'm making progress on figuring out how to use ChatGPT. I mean, and to make ChatGPT remember things, and so you can reference it back. And I think that's really the key here, is that we want to remember things so we can reference back. So you already get the newsletter, Christine, so hang on tight. Over the next week or so, I'm going to tell everybody how they can do exactly this, to use ChatGPT as your own personal assistant and goal achiever the best way that you can. What are you saying?
I'm comparing the ingredients to an Oreo and a Newman O, and it's exactly the same.
Is it?
One's organic flour, the
Exactly.
other one's enriched flour. One's organic sugar, the other one's enriched sugar. One has palm oil, one has other kinds of oils. It's the same thing.
It's organic.
Just eat it.
We have more of your phone calls coming up, as well as what's going on with the new webcam scam. Oh, I got to tell you about that here on the Kim Komando Show.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least that was the plan. Except now the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for this day.
So I got a call driving in the car. And sometimes when the scammers call, I answer it for fun because I got nothing else to do.
Excellent.
And it was a scammer, and they wanted to know, they said they were calling from their local TV provider. You can't be more generic than that, so I knew it was a scam right off the beginning of the call. All they asked me to do is to go in the front room, grab my remote, look at the remote, tell them what logo is on the remote, and that within a minute they'll run a test. So I said, my name is, Frank Johnson, and I look at the remote and it says Verizon. And they go, great, and hang up. What are they possibly doing? Is this like a phishing phone call?
Gosh, I don't know. Never heard of this one. Maybe if you said Cox, that they had a special place for you to go to on the web, and that you would type in a certain address.
Okay.
And maybe they don't have that set up for somebody who says Verizon.
But they just, in the beginning of the call, they're like, we're calling from your local TV company. And you could obviously tell it was in a phone center. There was a bunch of people talking in the background. The accent was there. I never say yes on these phone calls.
No.
Even though I'm on the radio and I say yes 10,000 times, I'm not going to let them have that recording. I just thought it was really weird. I didn't know what the scam was.
Don't answer it next time. Just don't answer it.
It's fun sometimes.
Speaking of scams, there's a webcam scam. Say that 8 times. Spreading, I have to tell you about here on the Kim Komando Show. All right, do you ever get one of those emails, scams that says, we caught you on camera, and we're going to send that video to every single person that you know? Now, up until now, we would say, that's a scam.
Right.
Okay, don't respond. They're going to go away. Well, guess what? There's new malware called Stellarium, and it actually makes that nightmare real. It can spy on your screen and your webcam while you surf on adult sites and record both the show that you're watching and your face. And then it sneaks in and then steals your passwords, your cookies, and your browser history, and then we'll send that video to everybody you know.
Oh, boy. I got to cancel my phone plan.
So cover that webcam, folks, with a little $5 protector or a piece of tape or even a little Post-it note. Don't forget to enter to win that brand new iPhone at winfromkim.com. Hey, appreciate you being here. That's the end of hour 1 of the show. And be sure to tell your family members and friends how great it was.